Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. There are only two words that describe my guest this week: a living legend. And not just a living legend, but somebody who is getting younger and more creative and more entertaining by the year, redefining himself and also rediscovering himself. Steven Spielberg, welcome to Walk the Talk.
That was a good introduction. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, what else can you do? I can eat up the rest of this time talking about a frightening shark, a lovable dinosaur, a dinosaur lost in time, a lovable extraterrestrial, concentration camps, a most wonderful horse, and now this brilliant political drama on Lincoln. So, if we start that, then I don't get you a chance to talk.
Well, which one of those do you want to talk about?
I think you start. I mean, Steven Spielberg in India is a special occasion because we don't see you in India that often.
No, this is my first trip in 30 years. I'm ashamed to say, because which essentially means I've been very busy for the last 30 years. But I love India. I was here. I made my third movie here in India, some of it, called Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, and I think you recorded some of it during the emergency in India, which is quite a remarkable feat, because we had so much xenophobia then.
Exactly. Shot a little bit of the second Indiana Jones here, and basically found this country to be so free, so spiritually free, that in contrast to my own country, where everybody's a little uptight, I used to come here in the early 80s just because I found a place that made me feel unnoticed, at one with everyone, all at the same time, and just a beautiful place, beautiful spiritual homeland.
But that will not happen now, because we've changed India completely in those 30 years. Mostly for the better, I think, but maybe in some areas for the worse. So there'll be no anonymity for you.
No, there's no. I've already discovered that. That's gone. But it's nice to finally be back after all this time.
Because every kid beyond the age of 8 will know Steven Spielberg.
Okay, good. I guess that's good. The thing of it is. What I do, well, you mentioned some of the movies that I've made. What I do when I make a movie is I really make a movie from two perspectives. One perspective is the kid that I always am and always will, I think, be. And the other perspective is the adult that is very strict with that kid and testing that child to say, are you sure you really want to tell that story? Are you sure you really want to go there? And so in a way, there's a whole kind of a contradiction when I make a movie, because I really now, as an older person, 66 years old, I still sometimes feel like a kid when I'm being a movie director, but at the same time, the subject matter.
You will be a very young politician in India at 66.
As you would be. That would be very young at 66. Good. It's good to know. But don't worry. You have nothing to fear. I'm not getting into politics here or anywhere else.
I have even if I'm taking away your time, I will tell you a little conversation I had with David Cameron a couple of weeks back. I asked him, I suddenly realized he's 10 years younger than me and Prime Minister of Britain. So I said, you must find it challenging to talk to our politicians who are twice your age. And he is a smart politician. So he said, you must learn to respect your elders. And I was just about to ask in my own facetious way, oh, but you must have some practice talking to the Queen. And then I figured that may not be so politically correct, talking to a Prime Minister of Britain.
Oh my goodness.
So age is an issue. And I ask you because you seem to love children. You use a lot of children as characters in your films.
And I've got 7 children at home.
Well, so you get trained.
On screen and behind the scenes, I've had a lot of kids in my life.
At home they boss you around, I bet.
Yeah, they do. They boss me around. Of course they do. I direct the kids professionally, and my own children direct me personally.
Do they review your work and say, this didn't work?
Oh, if my kids see a movie that they don't like, they tell me immediately they don't like it. And worse, they ignore it. They don't ever talk about it again. There's nothing worse than you make a movie and you're so excited for your kids to see it, and they say, it's okay, Dad, or there were parts in it I liked, and then they never speak about it again. So it happens.
Yeah, but I'm busy doing something else, and I'm busy watching something else. But that's the way the new generation is. In fact, they will not say this movie doesn't work. I think they'll say this movie sucks if they don't like it. That's the language they use.
I don't think my kids use that language, but what my kids will basically, they'll be very honest with me. They'll just say that they didn't find it very interesting. And the thing of it is, with kids today, you know, the attention span has been reduced to a very, very small measure of time and space with the social networking phenomenon. Right. And kids are now, they want their information immediately, like fast food. They want it in seconds. And if it doesn't stick, if they don't find it interesting, they basically forget it and they move on to the next piece of business. And I think that was not what my generation was raised to accept in my own children, but that's just the way of the world. That's the way it is now.